the second day of our seminar, and I hope you enjoyed your night and the breakfast today, and you are full, okay? So without much ado, I would like to invite Ajahn Michael to give us his talk on the future of the school. He said just one sentence. I doubt he would be able to make it in one sentence. He will be saying more. And then afterwards, after Ajahn Michael, we have Ajahn Shujit to facilitate the forum, and she will be the one to introduce our guest speakers. Thank you. Ajahn Mike, please.
So let's start. Okay. Okay, thank you, Edna.
Check ทดสอบ
Are you serious? Okay, so that's it. So may we ask now Ajahn Shujit to please present to us the facilitators of our forum. There is still a lot of things that we have to accomplish today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Edna, and thank you, Ajahn Mike, for opening the second day event. Very lively and refreshing morning, right? Okay, welcome everyone. And today we're going to have a lively talk. We are not going to call it as a forum or discussion, anything. I would like this session to be participation as much as possible. We're going to have a food for thought. The food is right here. Imaginary food, okay, and your thought is all around us. Okay, so we have a very special guest today, which is we're gonna talk about our future of design education and also how we're gonna go. What's now and what's next? So this is the objective of today, okay? And may I introduce very quickly our guests, and then I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in details, okay? The first one, please welcome พี่สมนึกนะคะพี่สมนึกเชิญเลยค่ะ พี่สมนึก I think you're familiar with him already because he has been our school advisory board for years and has been guiding our school direction in very well up until now. So very glad that you can join us and help us again today. And our second guest is คุณอภิรัตน์นะคะหวานชะเอม คุณอภิรัตน์ is from Gasikon Business Technology Group, and he's in the head of the visionary architect. And actually, you have architect background as well, okay? So even though in the bank business, but he's very visionary, guys. So we will ask and have a little chat about how to shape up the future to change the world from that, okay? And the third one is please welcome คุณเชอรี่นะคะคุณเชอรี่ from Design Impact ค่ะ So Kun Terry, with decades of working in Silicon Valley and also human centered design, so she would share the strategy that leads us, our SOA+D, to be recognized internationally. Okay, so we have a little more chat on that. And our last guest, last but not least, very special one, which is everyone has been looking for, คุณศิราภาor คุณปลานะคะ she's from Design Impact as well, and she graduated from the Stanford D School, which is everyone might be curious about, like how is it learning in that school. So she will share her experience in that, and she has a business background and run a lot of design thinking sessions. So it will be interesting conversation today. Not gonna waste any more time. So I would like each of please getting to know our guests a little bit more in details, okay? All right. So please each of you share about introduce yourself, your background, and maybe your ways of working in the context that you're working on. Okay. Thank you.
I work for the SCG. This year is 27 years. When I educate from the university and start with the SCG to set up a design session in the Cotto faucet company. But it's the 7 years now we include of the response of the sanitary ware include also some the kitchen business. But now it's only two. now I'm product design development manager in Koto. Okay.
Thank you, Kap. Good morning, everyone. So glad to be here. This is more than a dream comes true for me. It's more like, my life has finally circled around to where I was started, right? So as Ajahn Chujit said a little bit that I went to a design school, Chulalongkorn University, SoAD นะครับ29ครับ. I so glad because I thought I'm going to be the oldest one in this room, but suddenly there's someone older. So that make my day a little bit. You make me more happy. So so I went to the school. I finished my 5 year. I was an architect for a little bit. Remember, did a lot of bathroom designs. Enough so that I said maybe I want to do something else. So I went to the US, I got a job and I went to school there, computer science, and I've been in the IT since. Started as a researcher in AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so on. Being a consultant, product manager, and then 7 years ago I came back to Bangkok. And now I run innovation labs for Kasikorn Bank under a new group of company called KBTG, Kasikorn Business Technology Group. So you can think of me as your interface to the IT world, if you will. Someone who went to design school can still talk a little bit design language, but been working all life in IT field. And I came to know Dr. Chujit from my schoolmate, Dr. Ui. P. Ui. Actually, she went to the school, our ID are next to each other. So we've been together since day one. And I saw her grow from, little girl from Stevie who know nothing about design and always use every color that she has in her kits until she became, very famous. So glad for her. And she introduced her to Dr. Chujit, and we did a very good project together last year called Beacon Interface, where we use user experience design to design a new way for the visually impaired people to be able to use a smartphone with touchscreen. And we went to a competition in Singapore called Singapore FinTech Festival, and we won the award, first 2 awards. I mean, the first award from 2 organizations, and the project now became known internationally, and that get us a lot of awareness about financial inclusion, universal design, and most importantly, accessibility design. This year, I'm also working with her on another project called Pruan Fan, which is using human-centric design to try to solve problems for the agricultural sector in Thailand. Right? So I'm so glad to be here. I can feel the force, the creativity force in this room is very, very strong. So if you like to talk to me later, please, you're welcome. I hope I can give some inputs about how the IT segment is changing and looking toward the design segment to help them to thrive in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, P. Art. Actually, I really admire him that he has one slogan. One thing that he believes in his mind is let's change the world, making the world the better place to live. That's why I'm keep continuing. Whatever that you ask for, any support, I will be willing, gladly to help. Okay, thank you so much. And the next one, actually, Kun Terry, I just know that he know every of my professors. So this is another role model that we just know for the past 10 years that we haven't known each other, and suddenly we just know, it just happened that we know each other now. So please welcome Terry.
Thank you very much. So you'll find out that it's a small world. We know each other through professors from IIT in Chicago. So my background is that I have a Master's of Fine Arts in Design from Cranbrook, which is a very small school. You probably don't know of it. At that point, it was industrial and two-dimensional design. After that, I actually went to work in Amsterdam with Philips Electronics. And at that time, I really became very interested in technology. So to fast forward, I've worked in software in Silicon Valley for about 25 years. And starting with Apple, most of my work has been in management, design management, and strategy. And even though I started with visual and two-dimensional, I've actually done much more management of design and strategy and research. I think what I would like to hear from each of you is what you think innovation means. I think innovation is a word that is used all over the world, and it's a word that really means many things to many different people. And I like this, there's an architect who, Albert Kahn, I think said, Albert Kahn, who was an architect, says, if you know the future now, then it's not the future. You could design it now. So I think we'll talk about more about the processes of innovation. And again, I'm very happy to hear from you and learn from you. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Terry. And from Design Impact as well, right? Because actually, I know Kun Terry from Kun Plana. So it's like everything is like very small world. Would you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. So I guess in this room, I am the only person that doesn't have design background, I guess. And for a short history of myself, I've been working in business for the whole life, starting from once I graduated from Chulalongkorn University, economics, not design at all. I started working in my family business, which is we run the sugar factory, and we also have alternative energy from sugarcane, which includes we sell electricity to the government, and we have ethanol. But my first role when I started working in my family business was to restructure the debt, because we got the debt from Tom Yam Goong 1997 financial crisis, and it's been 10 years that we've been working on the business, but the debt is still there, more than 10,000 million, like more than 10 billion baht, and after my first year after my bachelor degree to help my family to restructure the debt, I learned a lot, and after that I thought I want to bring business further. We can't just rely on family business. That's why I come up with the idea that we should launch the company to public and become a public company with professional run. I spent another 3 years to restructure the company and eventually launch to stock exchange in Thailand. It's success. But after I success, I looked at my company, I realized that it doesn't help us to bring it to the future, because we need innovation, and I still don't know how to do it. And that's why I thought I need MBA, business education, and eventually I went to Stanford. However, when I arrived at Stanford and start to know design school, it's something new that I realized that it's more important than the business skill. It's something that business need in order to go to bring the business into future. And that's how I get to, let's say, fall in love with design. And since then, I see a lot of potential to bring design into business. And that's how I met Terry in Silicon Valley. Yeah, and I think today, even though I come up from different perspective, like the only non-design people in this room, I'm super excited to share with you, and also learn from you as a real designer, how to bring design and business together.
Can I just add to that? So maybe you want to know how Pla and I met. So I live right next to Stanford, and we had a mutual friend who introduced us for coffee, and our mutual friend thought, oh, Pla is very interested in design, and since I'm a designer, maybe I can, offer something to Pla. And well, I felt sorry for Plop because I thought, oh, she's brand new here. She doesn't know anyone. So it turns out she's much more social than I am. Had more friends than I did. But what we found out was that she was more interested in design than I had been, because I've been a designer all my life, and I'm much more interested in business now. So we complement each other. And the name of our company, consulting firm, is Designing Impacts, because we believe very, very firmly in you have to have impact and measure in impact. And you can design that. And so we are also very interested in social impact as well.
Okay. Yeah, sounds exciting already, right? After we know a little bit more in our case. So maybe we start some discussion about 3 main things that we would like to do. And please ask some questions. So I'm not going to be only the moderator here, but I would like you guys, every one of you, to ask some questions as well. So we going to format like a little chat. So it's not like a presentation or the formal thing. So if you have any questions, anytime you can raise your hand and I will write with you. Okay. So maybe since the topic is about the aspect of future design and learning toward global innovation, as Ajahn Mai has been mentioned yesterday already, I guess, about our concept of global innovation. Absolutely, we would like to have the local impact, which is whatever that we design, we would like our people, our Thai people who benefit in the aspect, either design or any development system that we're going to do in the future. So we would like to bring our capability, our strength that we have in the local way, but we would like to have a recognition globally, like internationally. So this is global innovation, right? ใช่ไหมคะอาจารย์ไหม ใช่ไหมคะ โอเค เยี่ยมนะคะ โอเค but if I mistakenly in another aspect, you can add a little bit more. Okay. So with that sense, I would like you to share a little bit, like if we have this kind of goal or vision, how we gonna what's now and what's going to be in the future, what's trend about the design right now, and how design education should be aware and should prepare for the next future. So anyone would like to share first?
Okay. So I think I actually might be the oldest one here. So and I saved you there. And the reason I say that is because having been in the design world and in Silicon Valley for so long, I can say with certainty that change, which you all know happens, but it is going so fast that nothing is the same. And that's the only thing I can say for certainty. And change is happening, maybe will happen faster here in Asia and East Asia than in the States or Europe. So I think the thing that might be an interesting thing to talk about later is how do you manage change? That is very global and it's very local. It has impacts. So.
For my learning is to use the global innovation to apply to our company or the SCG group. More than 10 years ago, when I started with this company, my company is a joint venture with the Toto Japan. The mainly this produce of the product is the same in the market, but the Thai crisis in 1997. Now we have the problem of the selling for the sale in the domestic market. Now our design team or the management team is to assign how to create of the add value or the high value product to the market. Our team discuss is maybe some people with the young generation is not experienced to apply the company, local company to global company, but it uses maybe the word is the GLOCAL. This is the first in more than 10 years ago, or to how to apply to the Thai technique of my staff in the factory to read the technology from Total Japan to mix together to create the product. The first is maybe to discuss, maybe to use how to learn with the trend with the global company to apply to the design in in-house design. We start is the ขอสไลด์นิดหนึ่งนะครับ but it's not a design, it's just a use of the now ไม่เป็นไรเดี๋ยวครับนิดหนึ่งนะครับ how to apply a trend to use to create a new product opportunity in the future. Now this is maybe of the strategy development in the SCG to show off this slide to our team. When you study of the mega trend, how to study the impact from the mega trend, how to develop to the new product to the market. อันนี้ก็จริงๆมันเป็น flow อันหนึ่งนะครับ this is the flow นะครับก็ดูว่าเราก็ดูว่าวิธีการอย่างนี้นะว่ามันจะเอาไปแอพพลายอะไรก็ได้นะครับขอสไลด์ต่อไปเลยก็ได้ขอนิดหนึ่งนะเร็วๆthis is a mega trend from the PwC company. This is the 5 global นะครับ the 5 global mega trend. Now the team is focus maybe on the rapid urbanization and democratic. The social change is maybe the look of the aging นะครับก็ to focus of the this to make a trend นะครับ to the apply of the strategy to develop product in this area นะครับสไลด์ต่อไปเลยครับ This is the same. This is the look like of the democratic pattern. The same is the last company to show of the mega trend นะครับไปเรื่อยๆ This is the first is the same of the to present of the mega trend of the same. The three research 10 company is the pattern is the 4 or 5 look like ขอสไลด์ต่อไปเลยครับนะครับ You see the urbanization also the same, also the social trend or the health or the wellness. Now we focus of the these 2 area นะครับ to make a trend นะครับขอเลยครับ It's just of the new headline the forecast in 2025. You see of the now the SCG is the focus or this 3D printing technology to apply to the future product in I think it's SCG building construction material. Now we present of the technique, this technique or the future product in the ASA since last year, and this year that we have the picture to show you after. You see, this is the mega trend metric, or this is a degree of the impact. Now we focus on to this area. This is the sensing technology, how to use of the technology to apply of the smart product or the technology product to the future product. Now we use of the voice or your touch. Look like of the Apple to use of the touch maybe the long time ago. วันนี้ข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ไม่เป็นไร how to apply to industrial to the new industrial นะฮะนี่ก็เป็น this is the technique also you use the future product is car or the maybe outlook like of the automation นะฮะ no driver the auto โอเคข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ครับตัวนี้ไม่มีอะไรข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ฮะนี่ไม่เป็นไรข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ครับไม่เป็นไร I heard is for the committee maybe you of the district history or this is smart city smart district ใช่ไหม what is it show you of the if you focus of the some area to the market นะครับอันนี้เดี๋ยวสไลด์นี้เดี๋ยวอันนี้ได้หมดผมแชร์ให้ดูเฉยๆว่าผม I study อะไรมั้งข้ามไปเลยครับไม่เป็นไรข้ามไปเลยก็ได้อันนี้ก็ how to prepare of the student or the design student it's just of the not of the design only the product but it's the design chain when you start of the product and to introduce the product to the market how to implement of the product to the market of this is the Audi city this is the flagship in London use maybe the Comdeck ใช่ไหมสาขานี้นี่ Comdeck ใช่ไหม media interactive or to impact with the customer นะครับอันนี้ก็จะเป็น London flagship ตัวหนึ่งนะครับอันนี้ก็ข้ามไปอันนี้เป็นเทคโนโลยีอยู่แล้ว 3D printing is maybe I think is maybe 4 years ago when I visit Milan Design Week I see of this 3D printing technology is many company to the apply to the commercial when I saw of the Nike with a netting ใช่ไหมnetting shoe is maybe of the to show 3 years ago in the Milan when you can to join of your design to create with the computer and to order this your design by 3D printed to make of your food your shoe sorry ไม่เคยหารูปไม่เจอBut now is Nike or many shoe companies, sport shoe companies aspire this technology in the market นะครับข้ามไปเลยก็ได้โรบอติกนะครับข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ครับข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ This is one of my sources for when I study the trend every year this is one company of the J. Walton Thompson is maybe the introduce of the 100 trend every year for this year now we เดี๋ยวนะเดี๋ยวขอข้ามไปอีกหน้าหนึ่งthis one 100 year is maybe the divide of the 10 category is the culture or the 10 culture trend or the technology or the innovation trend maybe you see the in detail also when I study or the team study which 10 is the impact with our design or our the customer where we choose or we study of the select of the some trend in this to our direction to create the design to the customer นะครับ It's just all now we take of the information from the Milan this is for the architect or the interior now we in detail but if not to show maybe the more slide this is the last year is called is a cozy home นะครับ we have the two micro 10 นะฮะ the in detail now we have the we use of this in detail or to the apply the interior or the interior decorative or now we apply of our product เนี่ย to the market or to our the customer นะครับ This is for the example we SCG is the set team to work of the 10 book to the apply the 10 book to create a product. This is the example of the 10 book by the SCG ข้ามไปเรื่อยๆเลยกันนะครับ When I the brainstorm or the start of the study of the trend ได้ครับไม่เป็นไรส่งนะฮะข้ามไปเลยกันนะฮะ this the ข้ามไปเลยกันนะฮะ I show you จริงๆมันมีอยู่ในเล่มนี้นะครับใน in detail in the 10 book นะครับ Now the in-house we work of the every 2 year for the set of the trend to create a new product in SCG group. This is okay. This is of the when the another company of the roof company is the create of the maybe the rough idea and rough to create of the maybe use of the have the solar to the apply to with the roof together. This project is maybe start in 2010, maybe 7 years ago. But now this year of in ASA last month, SCG use of the 3D printing, the cement 3D printing, the use of the Thai designer to create of the product. Now the Untitled the designer is Untitled is to create of the furniture, the outdoor furniture by 3D printing, cement 3D printing นะครับเดี๋ยวขอกลับไปนะครับไปนิดหนึ่ง but I think cement Thai is not to create the furniture product. Inside is maybe to prepare to create maybe the construction or the building material. Look like of I think is maybe look like of the facades of the building. It's maybe when the architect is maybe we have your design, maybe the same design to SCG to create your design. I think it's maybe the customized product. This is my team, the Cotto team, to study of the trend to use this for the example. We focus of the health or the wellness or the elder นะ aging product นะครับก็ now we work back to the 5 or 6 year and maybe they have the forecast of the 2 or 3 or 5 year trend in the future product นะครับ This is our direction of our team maybe of the 2 or 3 year or the 5 year now we focus on to the individualization also maybe some or you can to customize maybe use of the technique from the 3D print or the something of the handcraft something maybe or the mix maybe craft or the industrial technique together นะครับข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ครับไม่เป็นไรครับในที่ care solution ข้ามไปเลยก็ได้ urbanization นะครับอันนี้คือ information ที่มีอยู่อาจจะเป็นคร่าวๆเนี่ยเพราะรายละเอียดของมันจะเยอะนิดหนึ่งนะครับขอบคุณครับ
Wow, thank you very much. It's opening up the new what's next in the future of what designer going to do and how we're going to teach our students if this kind of technology, disruptive technology and everything is coming up, and how we're going to change the way that we teach or the knowledge that the students should do. But before we go to that, since we talk about the technology, I would like Kun Aphirat to share a little bit in the aspect of technology.
Okay. I guess the question was how can the design school at Bangmot become GLOCAL, meaning like make the stand globally and locally as well. I think in my opinion, you are already doing that and doing it very well too. Because when I came back to the country and I asked by the bank to set up these labs, I've been talking to most of the leading university in Thailand, including my own, Chulalongkorn University. And sadly, I found out that Bangmot is doing better on going ahead with the innovation. So that's why I've been working with Dr. Shutit for almost 2 years now. Right. Now, the question of where we are going from here, I'll be talking from the IT segment, from the information technology segment. My job is the best evidence for what the IT industry is going. Why do they hire an ex-architect to set up a new company that will look like ideal, to do like design thinking, user experience design, human-centric design within a bank? This is unprecedented. It's never been before. But because everyone is going toward innovation right now, I mean, innovation in my opinion, is overused. Everyone talk about innovation and they don't really know what innovation is. Many people think innovation and invention is the same thing, but it's not. And so last year, the buzzword among the CEO, CIO was machine learning, right? So this year, the new buzzword is design thinking. So any executive in the big corporation that doesn't talk about design thinking might lose their job. So if everyone somehow talk about some version of design thinking, being at Stanford, MIT, or whatever. But what they know is their hope is if I talk about design thinking, then hopefully I will get my team to innovate something, right? And that's what happened to me as well. So last year I was doing machine learning and AI, and because they find out that I have background in design, so they also asked me to set up a new lab for human-centric design. I was trying to show you a slide, but it doesn't come up. Anyone in this room have read the Change by Design book by Jim Brown? Okay, of course. You better be, right? So, and in that book, there is a diagram that looks like a metric. If you go Google design thinking, and it's called the growth metric, right? And it's like a 4-quadrant where they try to visualize innovation in a more systematic way by dividing in innovation into 3-4 types. The easiest being the incremental. Incremental is what we do every day. But the most difficult thing is the revolutionary, something like the iPod, and I think from the startup point of view, that quadrant is what we call the blue ocean, right? Where the incremental is called the red ocean. Red ocean is what most of the company is doing, just a few add-on to the existing product, margin cut, and so on. But the industry is at the point where they already know that incremental is not going to cut it. Anyone who wants to survive in the future, given the technology trend like the mobile computing, the big data, the social media, have to go for the blue ocean. And that's the innovation. That's why the innovation will be matter the most. So to me, innovation is going somewhere where you don't know the solution. If you have given a problem, if you have a method to solve it, that is, is not innovation. Innovation has to be what we have learned on day one when we joined the design school. I'm not sure if you're still teaching this, but when I was in school, there's something called sketch design, where they give you like a couple hours with a new statement of a new brief and ask you to come up with a solution within 3 hours. new solution, new value proposition, unknown area, so that innovation. So for us designer, I think innovation is ingrained inside our body. We do that without even knowing it. But the rest of the industry is not. When they give a question or a brief for the unknown area, that's when they start to confuse, worry, and start. So that's why today design thinking seems like a silver bullet that any company that run a design thinking lab will somehow thrive and then be able to innovate. So coming back to what can we do, I think first of all, creativity, creative thinking, and human-centric design must not be contained within the design community anymore. It has to go out to the rest of the business segment. If we want to success with so-called Thailand 4.0, well, we can talk about that later. I know that laugh, but might not be appropriate for on the air. So if we want to go with Thailand 4.0, we need to spread out the design process or design thinking. And I already hired 3 students from the design school from Ajahn Chujit to be part of this lab. So what I want to say is, thank you. That's so it's this diagram here. The whole industry right now is trying to go to the fourth quadrant, which is what they call revolutionary, meaning that we want to be able to attract new set of customer with new value proposition. But in order to do that, basically we need to design new thing, new uses of new thing, unknown area. So that's why this day you heard a lot about the term startups as well. And many people who know what startup is and how startup would be different from, let's say, SME or small business. The similar thing is they are both very small company, but the big difference is small business or SME is when you know your business model, you know exactly what you want to propose to your customer, and you know exactly how they would react, being will buy your product or service, and that's called SME or small company. But startup is when you want to go to the blue ocean of quarter floor, and you don't know if the customer would want to accept your service. First, you don't know exactly what they want, and secondly, if you know, you don't really know if they want to buy it or not. So that's why in the Silicon Valley, started in Silicon Valley, they have a new way of investing in new business called startup, and the VC, the venture capital. So someone who willing to bet a sum of money in a very new company with a very new concept, high risk, high return, but they are not so sure if that will success. So that's why the concept of startup is very popular right now, because the whole industry is going for innovation, and they rely on these small kids, a small startup company to be able to come up with the new idea for them. So I was very happy to learn that at the design school, Ajahn Lee actually has a major that's called startup major, trying to teach a startup concept within the design school even before the student finish the school, and that's a very good thing. So to make it short, if you would like to know more about this, I would be really happy to talk to you. But the whole industry is going for quarter four. We need innovation, we need innovative thinking, we need creativity to go outside the design school, to go into every business segment. In the near future, your student will be hired to work under unusual business segment like banking, for example. They will need creativity there. 2 books to read if you don't really know what I'm talking about. First one is The Change by Design by Tim Brown. The second one is called Lean Startup, and I forgot the name of the author. Yeah, it's Lean Startup. So Change by Design will give you some visual about where the industry is going with the innovation and how to manage innovation more systematically. The lean startup will give you a framework where once you have creative idea, how to make it a successful business in the blue ocean space, in the unknown area. Sorry, it would take a lot longer. Thank you.
Thank you, Kun Art, for introduction. He saved my work just to do that. Okay, so basically I will start to say, I guess maybe most of you would know or maybe heard a little bit about design thinking. I don't think we have to talk about detail today, but basically what I can tell you is when I first learned about design thinking, and I'm super excited about the process or method to think about it. And then I talked to Terry, who is designer professional, and she said, Pla, that's something that we as a designer do for a long time already. So it's not new for you, just so you know. Yeah. So that's the start. Now, I think you already know about what is implication of design thinking in business world. Something that I like to talk about is how, from your question, Ajahn Chu, you asked, what's next, or how can you, as an education institute, bring it into your course? I sum up it into 3 key things. First, I call global framework, local wisdom. And one thing that I learned from Stanford when I've been there, I learned that actually Thai students or Thai people are very smart. It's not that we are less smarter than Western people, but the difference is that they teach you the framework and the mindset that help you to innovate. And I can tell you a little bit about my experience in school. So when I start taking one class in Stanford, it's called Design Leadership in Context. So basically it's use the design concept to develop yourself and work with a company, to lead company outside of the university. During the class, they put me in a project to work with a software company in Silicon Valley. And I really find a problem that I can solve. So on the first time, I come back to talk to my professor. And she is very nice. She calmly give me some idea, like brainstorm, like, oh, Pla, why don't you do this or that? And then I go back and work on it, and it's work. So I'm so glad. Then second time I have a problem again, I come back to my professor and say, now I find another problem. On this second time, she said, Pla, I think this is your job to go out and figure out the solution. Otherwise, why would you come to school at all? And I think at that moment, I got aha moment in my brain, because it's just that I get used to being told what I should do or what is the step or process that I should do with whatever in class, right? And that's the different thing I learned from there. In the school, they actually teach you the process of thinking or the framework, but they don't really tell you the answer. And it's your job to find out the answer, because the answer can always change, especially if the future things, we don't even know what is future like. So if you just learn the process, you can go and embrace it. And the other important thing that I learned from Stanford is about the mindset that I just touched a little bit already. The mindset of just do it and don't think too much. And I think it's mostly in business, people, we love to overthinking. And when I said overthinking, it could mean like we plan a lot because we're afraid. We thought that the final thing that we come up with would be wrong or would like make mistake. And with that, we spend a lot of time to think, to plan, and to think, to plan, and to think, to plan again. While the process that I learned from design thinking, you just build a prototype and you actually test whether it's gonna work with limit risk. And I think that's very important for business. That's why nowadays in Silicon Valley, they use the process of lean startup or design thinking to work on startup. So as Kun Art already said, there are many companies there that looking for designer to work in a project or even to lead the project of innovation. Yeah. So that's the first learning, global framework, local wisdom. Just use what, as I already told you, Thai students already smart. Just teach them the framework and the mindset and they will be great. The second thing is how to combine design into business. In the Stanford School, you might heard about the word design school. Actually, design school in Stanford is not the school, it's just the one small department, and they actually don't have students on their own. Where they get the student from all other schools except the design school. And that means when we learn, they teach us as a project base. For example, in one class, I learned about how to redesign creative organization, and they give you some challenge, and after you got a challenge, they put you into a team with other school. For example, I'm from business school. There might be some engineering school students, medical school, and other school, and learn the framework together and use our own specialized to solve the problem together. And I think that's the same way that we work in the startup in Silicon Valley. So what you might do is, instead of teaching design for only design students, what if you bring students from other schools and work on project base and make things really happen? Just a short information, even I'm from the business school, in my school they also have a lot of class that have design thinking, and there are a lot of startups that really build on and become a real business after 1 or 2 semesters. Yeah. The last key that I think I like to share with you is, after you get the mindset and you bring design into business, now how to go globally. Nowadays, I start to see the trend in Thailand, just like Kun Art said, but not only in Silicon Valley, even in Asia. Last year I went to Hong Kong, and there are design thinking conference, and the conference were led by the Stanford alumni that come from business school there and now become CEO of the company. But he really passionate about design. And one thing that I learned is, right now, there are many companies, for example, in Hong Kong, that really excited about this new concept of design thinking. And they said the problem is that when they start to train people in their company, the other company would buy those people, ซื้อตัว แบบว่า and he said his problem is that he can't really train people, and after that those people just get out of his company. So he told me that if there is any institution that can train the student and become the design people that willing to work in a business, he would definitely would like to support.
Where is it again?
Oh, that's Hong Kong. It's the company is Cathay, Cathay Pacific, right? Yeah. For now, Cathay Pacific have its membership, like mileage membership. It's called Asia Miles, and the CEO were from Stanford, the same program as me. And he said, right now, no matter how much he trained people, they are all gone. So one thing that I found very interesting is your school teach in English, and that's very important because not many students in Thailand can speak English. That's what I think. So I guess this could be something you can tell.
อาจารย์ไม้คะ less partnership ไหมคะ with Hong Kong and also the design impact team and everything to create some business and design together. I think like a business design and engineer, if we put together as a multidisciplinary, it can be very impact and can solve many issues, can do innovate in the future.
Yeah, and to be on that, not only engineering, even medical school.
School
In
as-
Stanford, they have a class that called biodesign, which under the medical school, but they bring the designer to help to create a new product. Yeah, so that's just a small example. There are much more than this.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. May I ask you and Terry talk a little bit about the design impact in your project, the elephant sanctuary? Because I think like many of our adjunts is in architecture and is interested in sustainable ways and social innovation as well. So would you like to share a little bit with that?
Right. So one thing, let me just follow up a little bit, is that everything that has been said this morning is very, very true. The one thing that I would like to touch upon, which will take us to elephants, are users. You know, one thing that we don't have here are, who are your users? You know, your students and your clients. I was sitting here thinking, I don't feel right or comfortable sitting up here talking to you because my job is usually listening to you.
Oh, you're gonna listening in a few
And I
minutes.
know
okay.
that. But so with that said, talk a lot later on. Now, going to elephants, back in my job, my last formal job where I was executive design director and head of an innovation lab, I worked with young people about school curriculums and learning. And the young people now, and more than young people, want to go into social projects, doing good. Not that they don't want to make money, they do, but they also want to do good, which is where I have been as well, and PLA. And so with the elephants, we have a really great situation where, and you can speak to the resort, but it's about taking something and applying design thinking about how to educate people about environmental issues, about how do you actually design a resort, service design, running a business, running a little school foundation. So it's a really perfect project because like many things in life, it's not just one aspect, it's many things. So it touches on everything. And experience design, I guess, is the most important thing that what is leading us. What is the experience of the user? What will be the experience of our client, whether they're walking in the jungle behind an elephant or in their bed at night sleeping. So we're trying to figure out how do you combine all these different touch points of a person having this experience in the jungle. The other thing that we're trying to do with the elephant sanctuary, right now the clientele is a Thai population. We're trying to go for more Farongs. So hence why I'm there too, is what is the difference between a person coming from Europe or America into this environment. And so we're trying to get the best of a Thai culture, yet with the amenities or the feeling that a foreigner would want. So back to your question, why are we doing this? Well, we love elephants, but it's also a really good case study of how you take all these different needs, architecture, facilities, eco-design, visual design, everything, and approach that holistically.
Just a super short. Actually, the reason why I do this project is also I try to use the designer approach to prototype because I learned that design and business could combine together, and I'm looking for a small yet scale enough project to work on, and I think this is perfect. So basically we have 900 rai of land in the northern part of Thailand with 14 elephants. They living as a family, have like grandmother, auntie, and live very interestingly. And as Terry already said, we need many people to...
Anyone who wants to come with us when
Yeah,
we go
so
back.
if anyone interested,
Yeah.
let us know. Okay.
Actually, one thing that we're finding out, and we can touch upon this later, is the cultural issues. We're working with people who are from the surrounding areas, villages, and they don't know how to problem solve. So it's becoming actually a kind of a challenge about how do you ask someone a question when they don't really know how to answer it. That is actually our biggest design problem. People don't know how to think critically.
Absolutely. That's just wonderful thoughts. And since you are request that you like to listen to our school's process and how we teach, so maybe I would like to ask a chair of the program, maybe Ajahn Phung as well. I don't know, like who would be interested to share the ways that we usually do in our program, like in architecture program, interior program, or collaborative, in terms of collaborative. It's not like a typical teaching, but is there any interesting collaboration that we have been using in our school? พี่ติหน่อยไหมคะ vertical studio or something like that.
Yeah, actually we're thinking about the collaboration, but the problem is the way to manage, and it's quite like theoretical for us right now. We know the system, we know the principle, but we still don't know how to manage and how to make it, how to create a team that can understand and go together right now. And for me, myself, I quite believe in holistic thinking, that we have to think in the related area. And it's quite hard in this moment for our school and in our program that sometimes students, I don't know if it's about generation or not, but the students still not looking for something that concerns with social and environmental awareness, something like that. So we might need to start from the very beginning to try to build or inspire them to aware and come back to see that this is the real reality, and it's very important. Yeah, and the other thing is, when I just come up with what you, Kun Terry and Kun Pla, talking about I'm probably the oldest one here. Okay, we're gonna my class.
We're going to have a contest about who is the oldest one here.
Can I add to that a little bit? I think my recommendation would be to go ahead and just do it. Right? So it's already happening in my team. Like I said, I have one of your best students working with me, Fa Pornkamon, right? And then we are already hired Satang and Molekun.
Oh, already hired?
Already, yeah. They already passed the interview. And we put them, these are the two ID student industrial designers, and we already put them in the same team with computer engineer, data scientists, and people with business background. And they work as a very small team on social oriented, social